How you going, mate? How you going? Not too bad? Awesome. Good. Good to hear, mate. Yep, I can totally hear you right now. Yep, that's why I just replied to you when you didn't even reply back to me. No, I'm joking. Okay, fucking. So we've got palm reader today. Fucking yeah, that's me. I'll read your palm for $5, mate. Look, there's lines, there's knitting with the lines, and it's a palm. Therefore, it's made out of palm trees. Alright, it's that simple. Science. I read your palm. Now give me the $5 already. Now, is this album Braille? You know, gladly the oral instrumentation here, you know, isn't in Braille. That'd be a bit weird for it to orally be written in Braille. But anyway, yeah. So let's just get into this album whilst I'm sober. And yeah. The band on each song on this album showcases a propensity for switching up their tempos, their grooves, their transitions, yet they don't necessarily pull it off with the same cohesion and detail as a great band in this subgenre like the Dillinger Escape Plan, although they are different genres almost, but you know, there's similarities. I mean, yes, there is Dillinger influence here, especially the cleans on the start of a track like Inertia, which is a song that has this interesting tempo which slowly progresses with these distorted guitars almost yawning in the background before crunching into this driving rhythm once the engines start motoring up. And yeah, the cleans on this track actually they act as a centerpiece, a center point even, you could say, for the center point or even the centerpiece of this track, breaking up the groove to start with and the groove to finish. On the face of it, that doesn't sound very good, but it's actually executed very decently. No qualms with it, especially how it made the climax to finish hit all the harder. The lead in with the drums with the final climactic transition here with all the progressing instrumentation here is also very well written. There is also periphery influence with some of the genty lead guitars like on Like a Wave. And the closer, A Lover or a Shadow. And that song, A Lover or a Shadow, is really, really great just because of those crunchy, genty, periphery-esque guitars and how they take a hold of this track with the paralleling sort of screams. It just reaches that power, especially with that chugging bass line underneath. And not to mention post-rock. I mean, I would mention a specific band here at the moment, but one post-rock band seems to account for them all almost at this point. But I mean specifically with the climaxing tremolo pick guitar leads, which emerge on a couple tracks here, most notably on a song like Coalesce, a fitting name nonetheless. It is commendable the quality control and professionalism in the songwriting and attention to detail in the album listening experience. You can tell the band really put effort into the album as a standalone creation and how they decided to break up both halves here with Breach as the interlude, or even Dorothy in the final quarter of the track listing. Not to mention the occasional fade in from one track to another, like Bloody Coalesce into The Turn. And yeah, even the consistency and mood from, say, Dorothy to Clockwork. There's real cohesion here, and each song is perfectly placed in the track list, given those fucking hiccups. Given those reasons. Fucking hiccups. This is why you don't drink beer during a review, because you get hiccups. Alright. For example, like Inertia, The Turn has, in the middle of the song, an ambient passage to then make the climax hit all the harder once it is reached. And that is just very good songwriting. Not to mention how those ambient passages do break up the intensity and the grooves here. I will say though, a lot of the cleans I had a hard time enjoying here. I really struggled. A lot of the time had a lack of memorable melody, although I think it's mostly just the inflection, the timbre, the cadence, whatever you want to call it. It's a little too croony for my liking, a little juvenile, a little generic, a little even pop punk on some songs, and just not quite for me. On other occasions, they do reach some kind of catchiness though, when they find a way to hit a single note and harmonize maybe with some of the slower, hard-hitting grooves with emotion. The scream vocals, on the other hand, I do enjoy for the most part. There's enough power and grit in them, yet not enough still to displace the lack of uniqueness found in them. if that makes sense. Basically, with this album, whenever there are the thicker grooves, the more distorted guitar leads, just grooving over a breakdown with some intricate fills on the drums and some climaxing sort of scream vocals and some nasty bass lines underneath, that's when I feel like this record hits the full brunt of its strengths, and it definitely does so on many occasions here. Again, because it is such a consistent album in many ways, and because it is so clean and crisp in especially the songwriting aspects, it's hard to think of many critiques other than, for me, the lack of melodies with the cleans or memorability sometimes on some songs. And also, just generally the cleans, I guess. I don't know, they just didn't jive with me, so there you go. But on the whole, I would give this album a cheeky fucking 3.9. Just 3.9. Easy. Done. Alright, hope you enjoyed my review. I tried a different format this time. I could have just went track by track, but I think just talking about the album more generally speaking and then working in the tracks naturally as a progression like that is probably going to work better going forward in the future with these album reviews. So yeah, I'm going to do that. And if you enjoyed this and you're new, don't forget to subscribe, like, pistachios, channel grow, fucking whatever, blah blah blah. Fuck, you know, all that kind of shit. And yeah, just have a beer, mate. Don't just have a beer, mate. All right. Okay. Bye. Wow.